United Kingdom faces one of the worst economic crises in its history. Inflation is at a 40-year high. The cost of energy has almost doubled. The pound has also dropped 24% against the dollar. But how did the state of UK become so catastrophic? Let's break it down. Inflation is defined as most prices going up at a sustained rise. Right now, in the UK, demand is up, supply is down, cost is high. Supply has gone down due to the recent pandemic. Production of a lot of things stopped. China stopped production, and all the trades and goods became scarce. People were home during the pandemic. Many that managed to make an income from home earned money but spent a lot less. There was no big holiday celebration. They didn't spend as much on shopping or restaurants, nor did they have to repair or replace their cars. This resulted in a lot of savings. But now that we're coming out of the pandemic, everyone is making up for lost time. They're buying new cars, traveling the world, and going out for dine-ins. Demand is going up. On the contrary, the supply side isn't keeping up too well. Another reason why the supply chain is lacking is because of the war in Ukraine. Russian oil has gone down in supply, which affected the cost of energy, as well as Ukraine's supply of wheat, sunflower, and grains have also gone down. So to sum it up, you got the pandemic where people didn't spend as much and had money piling up in their savings, while supply was already going down since it didn't have as much people working and COVID restrictions had slowed things down. When the pandemic restrictions had started to lift, demand became really high, as people have been locked up in their homes for more than a year and wanted to go out and spend, while supply hadn't even gotten a chance to go up. Reinforce this with the war between Russia and Ukraine, you can see how all of the events that could lead to an inflation are all happening at the same time, making the situation worse. The government pumped a lot of money during the COVID pandemic. During that time, both the Banks of England and Federal Reserves of America thought that inflation was a short-lived event and the economy will soon adjust, but it didn't. The result is that the economy is taking much longer to adjust and is now causing one of the worst economic crises in the UK. As winter season neared, gas consumption was about to rise to new levels, and Russia had completely cut off gas supply, which caused the cost of electricity to have almost doubled, as the cost of production and inflation had hit 9.9%. Time to take action. The Bank of England raised interest rates by a relatively modest 0.5 percentage point to tackle inflation, but it couldn't have known the scale of the storm that was about to break. The current Prime Minister at the time, Liz Truss, announced a mini budget, also known as the Growth Plan.
With the issue most worrying the British people today, the cost of energy. We're taking 3 steps to support families and businesses with the cost of energy. Firstly, to help households, the energy price guarantee will limit the unit price that consumers pay for electricity and gas. This means that for the next 2 years, the typical annual household bill will be £2,500.
To support households and non-domestic users with rising energy bills, the energy price guarantee will cap unit prices and standing charges for domestic energy, limiting bills to an average of £2,500 a year for a typical household. The Energy Bill Relief Scheme will provide a broadly similar level of support for businesses and other non-domestic energy users for 6 months. The Treasury estimated that the combined cost of the schemes would be £60 billion in 2022-23. Liz Truss unveiled its plan for the biggest tax cuts in 50 years, going all out for economic growth, but blowing a huge hole in the nation's finances and its credibility with investors. Her growth plan, offering $45 billion of unfunded tax cuts, so spooked investors and damaged the UK's fiscal credibility that the pound crashed to a record low against the US dollar after UK Finance Minister doubled down on his bet by hinting at more tax cuts to come without explaining how to pay for them. Bond prices collapsed, sending borrowing costs soaring, sparking mayhem in the mortgage market, and pushing pension funds to the brink of insolvency. UK Treasury and Bank of England failed to calm the panic, saying it would print £65 billion to buy government bonds, essentially protecting the economy from the fallout of Truss's growth plan. After a massive fail to bring back the economy,
I am a fighter and not a quitter.
Liz Truss steps down, resigning after just 44 days, becoming the shortest serving Prime Minister in the UK. Britain's plan for growth is dead for now. Rishi Sunak was elected as the leader of the Conservative and became the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Sunak's government is focusing on filling the deep hole in the public finances caused by rising interest rates, rocketing inflation, and a likely recession, all of which have exhausted the resources available for stimulating the economy. It's one of the brutal ironies of Truss's tenure. Her growth plan, offering $45 billion of unfunded tax cuts, spooked investors and damaged the UK's fiscal credibility that it has killed off any immediate hopes of delivering long-term measures to bolster economic performance that the UK so desperately needs. While Liz Truss emphasized growth as the primary ambition during her few weeks in office, Sunak is having to firm up investor confidence by showing how they will pay off the UK's burgeoning debt load. Congratulations on making it to the end. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the other blob channels. Each of them covers different content. Blue covers all topics related to business. Rue documents anything in the field of politics, law, and crime. And Guru talks about everything else going on around the globe and helps you understand your world better.